face of security threats and the clamor for a youth demonstration on August 1st, the Nigeria Police Force stands as a beacon of hope under the visionary leadership of Inspector General of Police Olukayode Egbetokun, PhD, NPM. The force is tackling crime head-on and pioneering innovative solutions to ensure a safer Nigeria. From cybercrime to environmental sustainability, the Nigeria Police Force is addressing the complex security challenges of the 21st century. Join us as we explore the Nigeria Police Force's innovative initiatives. The past week was packed with momentous and impactful moments for the Nigeria Police Force under the leadership of the workaholic Inspector General of Police, IGP Olukayode Egbetokun. First, the monthly conference with strategic managers was held at the Goodluck Ebele Jonathan Peacekeeping Hall, Force Headquarters, Abuja. The conference was a call to action against the nation's security challenges and to deliberate on the so-called youth protestation. After that, the Nigeria Police Force National Cybercrime Center was officially commissioned, and the launch of the Nigeria Police Green Initiative was also held. IGP Egbetokun emphasized that the meeting with the top echelon of the force aimed to share intelligence and review activities in light of the planned national protest on August 1st. He acknowledged the numerous security challenges facing the nation, including terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, and oil theft, but assured that the police would remain undaunted in confronting these threats.
We are currently beset by our own share of complex and multifaceted security challenges. However, I must remind us again that the Nigerian police as an institution must be undoubted and unrelenting in confronting these challenges, thereby providing a reasonably safe haven for our people across the land. It is gratifying to note that the strategies deployed and duly executed by our officers and their undiluted passion and commitment have yielded significant results across the length and breadth of our nation. Undoubtedly, the results achieved by our men and officers within the past months have accentuated the stability of the internal security order of the country.
The IGP highlighted the significant reduction in crime rates in July compared to previous months, attributing this success to collaborative efforts with other security agencies and the dedication of police personnel. He also announced the establishment of a special task force on oil theft and pipeline vandalism aimed at supporting the government's social integration efforts.
This is clearly evidenced by the steady decline of crime rates over the past few months. A review of the monthly major crimes returns table revealed a significantly positive outlook. A drop in the major crimes reported in the last 1 month, which stood at 416, compared with 734 and 530 for the months of May and June respectively. In addition, we recorded remarkable successes in the fight against criminalities in the last 1 month, manifesting in the arrest of a total of 1,284 suspects nationwide, and the recovery of 284 firearms, 6,702 ammunition, 107 vehicles, and we rescued 97 kidnapped victims. We have taken steps to reorganize and reposition the IGP Special Task Force on Petroleum and Illegal Bunkering to enhance their operations as part of efforts towards curbing the menace of oil thefts in Nigeria. Meanwhile, the task force recently recorded 13 incidents of interceptions of suspected stolen crude and arrests of the perpetrators, as well as seizure of exhibits. Most of the cases are already in court for timely dispensation of justice, and others still undergoing investigation. It is imperative for me to mention here that the achievements recorded are the outcome of cooperation and collaboration with members of the public and other security agencies. They are also testaments to your dedication and professionalism. I therefore extend my appreciation to all Nigerians for their support and commend our personnel for delivering excellent policing services to our nation despite various challenges.
On the proposed call for a nationwide protest, the IGP said the Nigerian Police Force will continue to accord Nigerians the right to peaceful protest as enshrined in the 1999 Constitution as amended. He warned that the Nigerian Police Force will not sit back and watch hoodlums destroy things across the country. He said the protest was aimed at replicating what happened in Kenya recently and was not in the best interest of Nigerians. However, he called on Nigerian youths to ignore anyone inciting them to violent protest, calling for calm and ensuring adequate protection of lives and property across the country.
Some groups of people, self-appointed crusaders and influencers, have been strategizing and mobilizing potential protesters to unleash terror in the land under the guise of replicating the recent Kenya protest, the Beku. While the force acknowledges the right to peaceful protest as enshrined in our Constitution, we must ensure that these protests do not snowball into violence or disorder. As a nation, we have had more than our fair share of violent protests, which with rather dastardly consequences. The last EndSARS protest led to wanton destruction of public assets, including police stations, courts, transport infrastructure, and loss of several lives. Tales of sorrow, tears, and blood followed what was supposedly intended to be a well-intentioned exercise. Rather than to lead to any positive outcome, EndSARS merely aggravated crime rates and insecurity in several parts of the country. Indeed, we are yet to fully recover from the huge economic losses and deep-seated psychological and emotional trauma inflicted upon our people by this protest. Hence, our position is that the proposed violent protests are ill-advised and should be jettisoned forthwith. We have the responsibility to protect properties and everyone, irrespective of their race, color, ethnic, or tribe, who are lawfully embarking on their daily activities. We will therefore not sit back and fold our arms to watch violent extremists unleash violence on our peaceful communities, or destroy any of our national critical infrastructures and assets again. We have mapped out plans to ensure that no individual or group succeed in fostering a reign of terror and or anarchy on other law-abiding and peace-loving Nigerians. Consequently, I want to seize this opportunity to clearly sound a note of serious warning to hoodlums who might want to take laws into their hands in the name of protest, to have a rethink, as we will not fold our arms and allow our beloved country to be set on fire. Our duty is to protect lives and properties of citizens, and this we are committed to discharging professionally. We will, however, continue to protect the rights of citizens to peaceful protest as we have always done in the past.
Fighters promoting security consciousness.
I appeal to members of the public to cooperate with the police in their communities, give us information, we will protect you, we will make use of every piece of information you make available to us, we will act on them, and it will be for the good of the community and your good. Thank you.
Fighters promoting security consciousness.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu commissioned 2 landmark projects, the NPF National Cybercrime Center and the NPF Resource Center. These state-of-the-art facilities will enhance the police force's capabilities in combating cybercrime and promoting professional development. The President, represented by the Honorable Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, reiterated the federal government's commitment to investing in the NPF and recognized the importance of interagency collaboration in national security. He stated that the federal government has set up several major policy decisions, including reviewing the cybercrime plan, which would work towards mitigating multiple crimes posed by cyber criminals.
That this center will complement the ONSA in the protection of our critical national infrastructures by enabling a greater level of scrutiny of the online activities of those who seek to cause damage to our national interests. The security situation in the country is a complex blend of threats posed by well-organized non-state actors. Addressing it requires a concerted approach by all stakeholders within the security architecture. I therefore call for the elimination of inter-agency rivalries and urge the law enforcement agencies to embrace a coordinated, collaborative approach. It is my utmost hope that the Nigerian Police Force National Cybercrime Center will surpass the projected expectation of the Nigerian people and the international community and serve to help rid our nation of the effects of cyber-enabled crimes.
IGP Egbetokun appreciated the president's support for technological advancement in policing and assured that the force would utilize the projects to showcase professionalism and clamp down on cyber criminals. The police chief opined that the modern digital technology facility will serve as a nerve center for revolutionizing the art of policing in Nigeria and indeed the entire sub-Saharan Africa in the fight against cyber threats.
The Nigerian Police Force National Cybercrime Center embodies our commitment to harnessing technology, innovation, and collaboration to addressing the growing challenges posed by cybercrime and its predicate offenses. The NPF National Cybercrime Center represents a new frontier in law enforcement, where we leverage cutting-edge digital forensic tools, expertise, and partnership to detect, investigate, and combat cybercrimes of all forms. By prioritizing our national security, we have developed the capacity and expertise in digital forensic as a provocative step to safeguarding our critical national information infrastructure, protecting our citizens, and upholding the rule of law in the digital era.
The hall of the Nigeria Police Resource Center was packed full with who is who in the ecosystem of the environmental sustainability campaign, where for the first time, the police in Nigeria made history by focusing on climate change and its impact on humankind. President Bola Tinubu has applauded the Nigeria Police Green Initiative, which he launched at the Nigeria Police Resource Center in Jabi, Abuja. The president, who officially unveiled the initiative, said that in addition to reducing the impact of climate change and encouraging eco-friendly practices, it will also prioritize innovation and partnership that would drive the nation's transition to a green economy. Represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima at the event, Tinubu asserts that no part of the world can fake ignorance of the realities of climate change as the consequences abound.
Nigeria has been at the forefront of the global search for solutions to the devastations of climate change. We have always known that we cannot reach this target of aligning with international climate goals and reducing greenhouse gas emissions unless each person and every stakeholder lives up to their obligation. This is the promise we made to the world at the COP28 conference in Dubai last year. Alongside other nations, we reiterated the urgent need for global cooperation to implement solutions that can stop and reverse the effects of climate change. The Climate Change Act 2021, which sets out to achieve low greenhouse emissions, green and sustainable growth, and sets a target for reaching net zero, is a cornerstone of our efforts. The Energy Transition Plan, ETF, promises to achieve net zero emissions by 2060. Our national climate change policy, debt for climate change action swaps, and renewable energy targets are some of the interventions in place to fast-track our solutions, whether through adjustments or financing our transition towards a low-carbon economy. We welcome this initiative by the Nigerian Police Force because the connection between climate change and security is a price we have paid enough. Therefore, we are going to throw our weight behind its success, and we have in place a committee for the carbon market activation plan, which positions Nigeria at the forefront of creating a robust, sustainable carbon market worth $2.5 billion. Additionally, the presidency has established a presidential committee on climate action and green economic solutions to coordinate and oversee all policies and programs on climate action and green economic development.
The Inspector General of Police, Olukayode Egbetokun, the initiator of the Police Green Initiative, described climate change as the most substantial threat to humanity, affecting everyday life, livelihoods, and social-cultural existence. The IGP reiterated Nigeria's commitment to international climate agreements, including the Paris Agreement and net zero targets, and explained that these efforts aimed to reduce carbon emissions and minimize environmental impact.
This landmark event signifies a major milestone in the evolution of the Nigerian Police Force and underscores our unwavering commitment to environmental responsibility and innovative policing. In alignment with global actions championed by the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, Nigeria has joined the international community as a signatory to numerous climate treaties. Over the years, Nigeria's climate change policy landscape has evolved, focusing on emission reductions, transitioning to renewable energy sources, and aligning with international agreements like the Paris Agreement and the net zero target. These efforts aim to cut carbon emissions to minimal residual levels, which can be absorbed and stored by nature, and other carbon dioxide removal measures. In Nigeria, the security implications of climate change are evident in the drying up of Lake Chad, infrastructure disruptions, poverty, increased vulnerability to crime, and resource conflicts such as farmer-herder violence. In response, the federal government of Nigeria has outlined climate priorities through its nationally determined contribution under the Paris Agreement and other initiatives like the National Council on Climate Change and National Adaptation Plan Framework. Linking climate action with national socio-economic development strategies presents unique opportunities for addressing environmental challenges while fostering economic growth, social equity, and resilience for current and future generations.
In his goodwill message, a representative of the Minister of the Environment, Balarabe Abbas Lawal, announced the ministry's full backing for the Nigeria Police Green Initiative, noting the link between environmental sustainability and national security. Also, Khalil Halilu, the Executive Vice Chairman of the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, lauded the initiative for its potential to contribute to Nigeria's climate action commitments while improving the police force's operational capacity. This pioneering project aims to promote environmental sustainability within police operations and reduce the ecological footprint through eco-friendly practices and renewable energy sources. Through this initiative, the Nigeria Police Force is committed to contributing to global efforts to combat climate change, protect the environment, and initiate policies that would respond to safety and social justice for future generations.
We have been monitoring developments surrounding protest threats. While some groups call for violent protests, emulating Kenya's recent events, others advocate for peaceful demonstrations. However, some individuals promote peaceful protest with violent undertones, raising concerns about their sincerity. We have our own history of violent protests in Nigeria, and I don't believe we have to look to other countries to note the dangers of unchecked demonstrations. We commend patriots who have withdrawn from the protest due to the apparent sinister motives and ignorance of those calling for violence. We note those who have spoken out against any form of protest at this critical juncture, fearing enemies of our country may be manipulating the process. We confirm their fears are genuine, as we have credible intelligence on foreign mercenaries' involvement in this planned protest. The Nigerian police urge all Nigerians to exercise caution and think twice before joining any protest group. While we alert citizens to the sinister motives of certain groups planning to wreak havoc, it has become clear that even a peaceful protest at this time may be ill-timed. We issue a stern warning to clandestine groups plotting to destabilize the country and hoodlums seeking to exploit protests for their criminal agendas. We will not tolerate the killing of innocent citizens, destruction of public infrastructure and private property, or looting of private businesses. We acknowledge the constitutional right of Nigerian citizens to peaceful assembly and protest. However, in the interest of public safety and order, we urge all groups planning to protest to provide necessary details to the Commissioner of Police in the state where protest is intended to take place. To facilitate a successful and incident-free protest, they should please provide the following information. 1. Proposed protest routes and assembly points. 2. Expected duration of the protest. 3. Names and contact details of protest leaders and organizers. 4. Measures to prevent hijacking by criminal elements, including key identifiers for possible isolation of potential troublemakers. By providing this information, the police will be enabled to deploy adequate personnel and resources to ensure public safety, designate specific routes and areas for the protest to avoid conflicts with other events or activities, establish clear communication channels with protest leaders to address any concerns or issues that may arise, minimize the risk of violence, property damage, or other criminal activity. We encourage all protesters to cooperate with the police, obey the law, and adhere to global best practices for peaceful assembly to guarantee a safe and successful exercise of their rights. We are committed to working with all Nigerians to promote peaceful expression and maintain public order.
We work with the police, trusting the police at all times to work with us. Police is our friend. That's what we are made to know, and we believe strongly on that. And they will continue to be our friend. Like one of our paramounters have said, I want to affirm that to whom much is given, much is expected. We are royal fighters. Our role primarily is to support the police to succeed, report crimes in our community to the police. They in turn reciprocate immediately to ensure that such criminality or such happenings is immediately checked.
Fighters, promoting security consciousness.